Sure. My name is Tyler Toon. I am president of College Republicans and Young Americans for Freedom on campus, and do about a million other things on top of that. So it's always a lot of fun.
My name is Omar van Rienen, and I'm from Wolfish Bay, Namibia, in Africa.
I grew up in a family that was Republican conservative, but didn't really talk too much about it and all that. And then when I was in high school, I actually had two different history teachers that were very encouraging of students to get involved politically. And they did a very good job at presenting things very neutral, bipartisan, and just trying to get their students to take part in local government and know what's happening and all that. And then I think, identifying with the Republican Party just comes from a lot of different reasons, just kind of the way, we're raised, the way we learn things, the way we see the world. As you look more into the issues, you see more into the issues, that you'll decide for yourself kind of what you think is right.
How has the transition from Namibia to America been on you?
Well, I feel like I'm still in transition, even though I've spent the last 3 years here in the United States and haven't gone back home during the breaks. I'm learning something new every day. I'm learning to become more acquainted with the customs and the people every day. But I think I've had a very smooth transition because I chose to dive into the campus culture and the campus community. So that gave me more of a front seat view of how things are done in America and between my peers too. So I think because of my nature, my involvement on campus, I think I had a different type of transition than, your typical international student. If I could vote, because I can't vote.
Yeah.
Because remember, I'm not an American. But if I could vote, and if I was registered as a Democrat, because they stand for a lot of issues I believe in, I would probably vote for Bernie Sanders on a ticket with Kamala Harris.
I don't know. I think I have like a normal kind of suburban kind of kid life. I, did okay in school. I was never really great in school. And I did a lot of activities and sports.
So this shirt is a traditional Oshivambu shirt, and that's a Namibian flag. I think I was like a sophomore, or no, I was a freshman.
Okay.
I think one of the two. And then somebody wanted to do like an article about me, an international student, and why I'm involved in America and stuff. So I wore this shirt because it's from the biggest tribe back home, and it just represents like independence and freedom to me.
There's definitely a lot of people throughout my life that have helped kind of get me to where I am and all that. And there's really just a handful of people that have guided me and helped me with things and really kind of pointed me in the right direction and have been very influential.
So when Tyler told you he wanted to start a YAF organization on our campus, what was your reaction to that?
Didn't even know what he was talking about until he explained, what it was.
I don't think I would have started a YAF by myself, or no one else really would have, and Tyler's the sort of guy to just go out and just do something, regardless of what people say. He takes the reins a lot on a lot of different things instead of delegating tasks, but that's just the type of leader he is. Lead by example type of guy.
He is a leader. At the Free Speech Ball event that I met him at, it was visible that he's the one in charge. There were other students helping him from the club, but it looked like he had it under control, that he was the one in charge, and definitely leader.
Tyler, I think Tyler's loyal. I think he's committed to things that he feels, but yet not overbearing. I think he's just trustworthy and honest, and I think he is dedicated to what he feels is right.
When people ask me, do I miss home? I'm like, yeah, but this feels just like home. Because the people here are so warm-hearted and big-hearted. They're different from Namibians, very much. But the heart is still the same.
I see Omar changing the world, 100%. I mean, he has made so many different changes just on this campus alone that has been changing other campuses too, around the SUNY system. So in 10 years, honestly, I think Omar will change the world.
I think Omar has had a positive impact. He's reached out to students that never have been reached out to before. He's tapped into this group of students that have been repressed for a long period of time, and then now they're finally able to feel like they're heard. He's advocating for transgender students. He's advocating for people of color. He's advocating for all these different groups on campus that might not have felt as if they were really represented prior to him coming into office. And now that he is, yeah, I think it's been a very positive effect.
So in 10 years, I see Omar in one of two places. He is either working in some non-for-profit here in the States based off of civil rights, or is back home in Namibia in some political setting, trying to push his country forward to the standards that he believes it should be at. And I truly believe he'll get there.
Maybe whether it be in a law firm, whether it be in government, some area where he can make an impact on other people's lives, because I don't see this stopping here. I see him wanting to continue and help advocate for people, continue to make people feel like they're heard, and that's what Omar does. Everybody that's around him. So I think that he's going to continue to do that throughout his life.
The one thing that I wish everyone knew about Omar that maybe they don't know is just how infectious he is. So like, if you have one conversation with Omar, you really know where his purpose is and like where he really wants everything to go. And sometimes that can be kind of skewed with, oh, he just wants to start up problems, or he wants this and wants that. And it's like, no, he just sees the issues that are going on and he wants to fix them genuinely from like an open-hearted place.
I remember thinking he was going to go places in life, very distinguished, very down to earth, cared a lot about a lot of different people.
He's knowledgeable about a lot of things too. Like, and I'll explain a little bit, but like knowledgeable in the sense that he knows things about American politics that I don't even know. And I'm an American citizen and he isn't. And it kind of like baffles me sometimes how knowledgeable he is about other things that and how much research and time he puts into those things that he cares about.
What are some struggles you guys have faced being student leaders?
I think being on campus as a college student is hard to balance, you know, your social life, your classwork, and all that stuff. And then as well as holding leadership roles on campus, and sometimes several of them, really puts even more pressure to kind of have a good balance for everything. And it puts students in a kind of a spotlight within their networks and sometimes within the entire campus.
Yeah, I agree. I think as student leaders, you have like duties and responsibilities that other students don't have, or ones that just, you know, focus on academics. And you have to make sure that you juggle those well. Sometimes you have to represent a certain cohort of students, and sometimes you have to make sure that you fulfill your club or your organization's, you know, tasks well, and make sure that you delegate the tasks to the rest of the team well.
Omar told me that this was the first time you guys have ever met officially.
In this setting,
Yeah.
And in passing,
Yeah.
just different things, but not like this.
Yeah, I don't think we've directly spoken to each other.
But I do know that there has been back and forth sometimes through Facebook and stuff like that between you two. So initially coming into this, what were your like kind of like initial like thoughts about coming into this?
I think it's important what you are doing. You're highlighting two very different student leaders and their approach to leading their cohort or leading their organizations or representing a certain type of students. So I don't think I was very much opposed to it. I think something like this should have happened more. I would have liked to see Tyler and his organization more in my office, aside from the Senate and so forth, or if there's an issue for them to, you know, contact me directly or find a way and we can find the middle ground in certain issues. I think it's very important what you are doing.
Yeah, I think the same thing. You know, we've crossed paths not directly throughout the year, or you know, clubs, things like that, and crossed paths. And I don't think there was any real nervous to sitting down or anything like that. I think it's definitely great to get opposites people to sit down, talk, and have these conversations. and I think the political science club did a panel discussion for Quest Day. I think that was a really great start to getting conversations like these to happen, and I think it's good to benefit everybody.
Do you think you guys would ever be friends?
I think,
Be honest.
I think friendly, but I think people can have differences and agree, but be friendly to each other, kind of regardless of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should be a general thing with those your different viewpoints from your different political ideologies. It'll actually be a barrier because at the end of the day, we need to find a middle ground. I do it friendly with each other absolutely, and many of his friends and many of the people he works with, and many of the students in his organizations. I wish him and the organization and the people he works with nothing but the best.